welcome to my channel. My name is Erin, and today we're doing another Sims 4 speed build. We're going to be recreating the Brady Bunch house. It's obviously super famous. What I'm trying to create like a new series on my channel where I'm gonna recreate like famous homes, music and movies and television and whatnot. So this is kind of part of that series that I'm attempting to create on my channel. But yeah, this is the infamous Brady Bunch house, and this video, if you didn't notice from the time card, it's long. It's my longest video. I'm not entirely sure why it's my longest video, if I'm being honest, because it's simple. You know, honestly, it's deceptively simple, the outside of the Brady Bunch house, because that roof line, let me tell you, that roof line gave me some problems. I'm not very good at roofing to begin with, but that roof line especially gave me a lot of problems. And you know, if you play on console, which I feel like in every video I'm like complaining about playing on console, like I don't want to sound like I'm complaining too much, but you know, if you play on a console, you'll know that there are some limitations when it comes to building. And roofing's one of those things, like you can't bring in just like one side of the roof like you can when you're playing on a PC. So yeah, the roof was a challenge, but I got there in the end. It ends up looking really good on the outside. And you know, like I said in my full house video, when you're doing these recreations of, you know, famous shows from television, like sitcoms, you know, obviously common sense, the inside is going to be a set and the exterior is going to be, you know, sometimes a show, like a house that actually exists in real life. And the Brady Bunch is like that, Full House is like that. I'm trying to think of other places that are like that. I can't think of any, but you know, there's definitely different examples of where they sample real homes from the exterior. So, you know, my goal with this house was to make the front of it look as close to the Brady Bunch as possible, but the inside I wanted to pay a pretty good homage to as well. So the living room, the kitchen, the den, and the dining room, they all have a very similar look and layout to how it is on the show. Now from there, well, also I would say Mike Brady's like office too, that also has a pretty similar look to how it is on the show. But you know, the bedrooms are similar, but they're not laid out exactly like how it is on the show. And you know, Alice's room and places like that, you know, again, I tried to pay homage. I can't really do it exactly. And also, like, this whole house is more modern than the Brady house, so I still wanted to, of course, you know, do a nod to the kind of 60s, 70s, sort of mid-century California ranch. But I did want to modernize it a little bit, so you'll notice when I was doing the front of the house, I actually used those really big windows from Growing Together, because I've just been kind of dying to use those in a build, those really cool, like, A-frame style windows. So I used those there instead of, well, I'll pop up a picture of the real Brady house, and you can see there's just like a tiny little window in that bump out on the front of the home. So I was gonna stick to that, but as soon as I put a tiny window on that little bump out portion, I was just like, no, this, just for the scale and everything, it just doesn't work. And that's the thing about recreating houses that you see in pictures and or on television or whatnot. In The Sims, you just can't really get it too exactly because things just look different in the game. Because, you know, obviously it's a game. It's a video game. It's not real life. I think we all know this. But yeah, so anyway, getting back to what I'm actually doing right now. So the exterior is definitely the longest portion of this whole video. It took me a long time because, like I've said in previous videos, exteriors are my weakness. Interiors, I feel, are my strong suit. And I, you know, was trying to get the exterior to feel very, you know, Brady-esque. And I definitely think it gets there. And, you know, I gave, oh my goodness, I can't remember her name all of a sudden. Mrs. Brady. But what's her real name? I want to say it's Gail, but I don't think that's right. It's not Gail Brady. What is her name? Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'll listen back to this and probably be like, it's Carol. It is Carol. Oh my goodness. Her name's Carol. Anyway, I want to give Carol a garden. So you see it right on the other side of that barbecue there. I gave her like a little garden, and then I put monkey bars, and then I gave them that like infamous little garage that they had with like that weird little like their garage was weird on the show. It was like part open and part closed. It was so weird. It's almost kind of like I don't know if they call them porticos. I don't know if that's the right word. Who knows? But yeah, I tried to make it look as much like the real Brady house, or the real Brady garage as possible there. But now I'm just filling up the garage with like lots of different clutter items, and I do put a woodworking table and also a flower arranging table, so that way, you know, your Sims have lots of different activities. Oh, a candle making station as well, I put that in there too. And yeah, this house definitely has lots of different skill building activities. I try to do that in all my builds. I try to put stuff for your Sims to actually do, because one thing I'll notice, like before I started building in The Sims 4 and I would like download houses off the gallery, they would look really pretty, but they like wouldn't have the essentials that you would need in them, like, you know, a garbage can or, you know, just different skill building items. So then you're adding those in, and then you feel like it's kind of like mucking up the aesthetic of the home that you originally downloaded. So I don't know, that was always kind of a pet peeve of mine when I would download some houses from the gallery. And so I always try to include those in my build, so that way when you guys get them, you know, they're good to go. And yeah, or at least I hope they are. You know, if any of you guys have ever downloaded any of my builds and you notice like I forget to put in something really important, please let me know in the comments. I love to get feedback from you guys and, you know, see where I can improve. I'm finishing out now the pool area, and good grief, I bet the Bradys like wish they had a pool. That's what I was thinking when I was doing this. I'm like, good grief, can you imagine the Bradys with a pool? That would have been crazy. The Bradys, I grew up with the Brady Bunch, of course. Like, I'm a millennial. I grew up with Nick at Night and like TV Land, so I grew up watching so many retro TV shows. I was obsessed with the Brady Bunch. I was also really into Three's Company, which is such a weird one. I loved Three's Company. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Like I Love Lucy, of course. Oh my gosh, like all the 80s ones too. Like I would watch like Facts of Life and Silver Spoons, and I don't know, a lot of my friends who are my age too, like they did that as well. So I guess it must be like kind of a millennial thing. Like we grew up with all these like fun little retro TV shows, but I loved the Brady Bunch. I was rewatching some of the Brady Bunch when I was like, you know, doing this house just to really, you know, get a real feel for it and, you know, kind of research it, because I'm a nerd like that. I like to research before I do some of these projects. And oh my god, the Brady Bunch is so kind of cringe. It's just so cringy. Like Alice with her like really dumb kind of like one-liners.
For the fabrics that are best, put your faith in Everpressed. You will always look well dressed in the east and in the vest.
Oh, Alice.
Just the family and like their drama and their whole dynamic, and like Mr. Brady and his like little wise anecdote.
A real friend likes you for who you are, not what's on your face. If you judge your friends for passing judgment on you, you're not only judging yourself, you're judging your friends for judging you, and that would be using bad judgment.
I never thought of it that way.
It's just so funny to me. What I loved the most about the Brady Bunch was actually the movie, which came out, I think in like the 90s, because I was like a little bit older when that movie came out, but I love that movie. They basically in that one like just like kind of clown on the Bradys and how like just cheesy they were. They were super cheesy. If you've never watched the Brady Bunch, like if you're too young to kind of know what the Brady Bunch is, please do watch the Brady Bunch. It's like sort of cringy, but in a way that you can't stop watching. I don't really know how to explain it, but if you have watched the Brady Bunch, you know. It's just got that cringe factor to it, but you can't turn away from it. I don't know what it is. It's crazy. You gotta experience it to know. But anyway, I'm decorating that like super infamous part of the house, and I'm so glad we had like the little horse figurine that you could put down. That's brilliant. And I had like the little vase, which, you know, if you watch the Brady Bunch, you know Bobby, I think it was Bobby, or was it Peter? I can't remember. They were playing ball in the house, and they, you know, they knocked over Mom's favorite vase. So that was like a fun little nod to put down. But overall, I'm really happy with how the inside of this house came out. I loved it. I had so much fun doing it. And like I said, it definitely feels like the Brady Bunch house, but it just has like a little bit more of like a modern update. Because yeah, I could do it exactly like the Brady house, but I feel like if I did it exactly like the Brady house, it would just not be something like you really wanted to play in. Because I don't know, for me, again, I'm a millennial. I'm all about the aesthetics, and like if something is not like aesthetically pleasing to me, I just don't really want to play in it. And so same thing with Full House. I could not do the 90s style. I just couldn't. And the Brady Bunch house is actually really cool. And as I was rewatching the show and looking at pictures of it as I was building this house, I was like, man, the Brady Bunch house actually had really cool style. Like it's got a definite like California ranch, little mid-century look to it. I punched up the mid-century aspect though a little bit more just because we have so many nice mid-century items in the game, so I really wanted to feature those. But yeah, overall, super, super happy with how this house came out. And as I'm recording this, actually, just yesterday, The Sims 4 just released that like roadmap for the rest, or no, not for the rest of the year, but like through April through June, I think. And they had that Take Me Home promo. And immediately I was like, oh my God, this has like a total like 60s, 70s vibe with the wood paneling and that like floral wallpaper. And I was like, oh goodness gracious, if they have something like 60s, 70s themed, I'm gonna be so excited. But I'm also gonna be kind of mad because I just finished this Brady house, and anything 60s, 70s vibe for that build would have been so great. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. There's supposed to be like 4 kits. And if I had to guess from the promo, the kits kind of look like they're going to be like a plant related. Well, I don't know. They have like a picture of a plant in that. And then they also have, you know, obviously a lot of boxes. And it says Take Me Home. I don't know. I don't know what the new packs could be involving. I'm definitely gonna safely say like we're probably gonna get another clutter kit, which I'm not mad about. I love clutter kits. But otherwise, I'm really trying to think what Take Me Home could mean. Like what's their overall, I don't know, what's the thing that they're trying to accomplish here by saying Take Me Home? I don't know. It's kind of fun to guess, but I wish they would just tell us. It's kind of fun to sit here and be like, what could it be? And just anticipate it. But sometimes I'm like, I just want to know. Just please tell me so I can prepare. I don't know what exactly I'm preparing for. Well, besides, you know, videos to put up on YouTube, but yeah. But anywho, getting back to what I'm actually doing in the build. So I'm doing the kitchen, and this is, without a doubt, my favorite room in this entire house. Like, it looks and feels so much like the one on the show. I'm so happy with it. It's not exactly how it is on the show, but I mean, if you look at this, like if you show just somebody on the street, like a screenshot of this kitchen and just be like, what does this remind you of? If they're old enough, they would definitely say the Brady Bunch, because it does. It looks so much like the Brady Bunch kitchen. So you'll see off to the side there. So in the real house, they have like this weird like indoor grill. I don't really know what that's all about. It's actually kind of cool. I wish I had an indoor grill. But yeah, they have like an indoor grill, and then there's like double ovens. And unfortunately, we don't have double ovens in the game. I know you can get them with custom content, or I'm pretty sure you can get them with custom content, but I don't have access to that. So I just got these little oven covers from the Eco Lifestyle Debug, and that actually worked out really good. And it looks kind of like an oven. I mean, granted, you can see the brick coming through, but you know, don't pay attention to that. You don't see the brick. What am I even saying? You don't see it. It's not there. It looks perfect. It looks like a double oven. But then I was also able to use that really cute circular table that we got from Growing Together. Actually, I don't think that table's cute. Upon first looking at that table when I got the new pack, I was like, what is this hideous table? But then when I was doing this kitchen and I needed a round table and that one popped up, I was like, oh, this is actually really perfect. This is actually a really great table. So, yeah. And then I was also able to like get that little, like the Brady's had like that little window like you see off to the side from the slider there. And that's where I think they had like a telephone over there, and they would like sit at like a stool kind of by that window and like jot down notes. Or at least that's what I remember from the show as a child. But I tried to recreate that there. I wish we had a phone that we could like put up like on the wall. I wish we had phones. That would be so fun if they put like the old-fashioned style phones. That would be such a cool item to have in the game. That's why I'm really hoping like one of the new kits is kind of like 60, like a retro kit. Oh my goodness, I would kill for a retro kit. That would be so fun. And yeah, I would just love that. I know it's kind of weird to like put like an old-fashioned phone in like obviously a newer game, but I don't know. I played Animal Crossing. I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan. I have like 2,000 hours on Animal Crossing, and we had phones, and that's a newer game, so, you know. The Sims needs to take a note from Animal Crossing and put some like fun, different items. Shout out in the comments if you are both a Sims fan and Animal Crossing fan. I think a lot of Sims players would like Animal Crossing if they don't already know what it is, because obviously it's a huge game. But that game, I didn't play that game until 2020. So New Horizons was my first Animal Crossing game. I actually was recommended to play that by a guy that I was seeing at the time. He was like, you have to play this game, it's so fun. And I was like, okay, yeah, I love life simulation games, so I downloaded Animal Crossing, and oh my goodness, that was it. I was so addicted to Animal Crossing. I got it in, I want to say April 2020, and it had come out, I think March 2020, so I got it like a month after it had come out, and I just fell in love with it, and I got so into it. I was like, you know, I was going to like other people's islands to like trade turnips. I was a billionaire. I think you should all know I was a billionaire. And goodness gracious, I demolished and redid my island so many times. And I did think about doing like a YouTube channel for Animal Crossing too, but at the time I was working a full-time job, so I just didn't really have the time to do it then. But yeah, I love Animal Crossing, and I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would do an Animal Crossing content like at the moment, just because, I don't know, that game kind of fell off a little bit. Like they didn't do they stopped doing updates for it. They released a DLC and did like a huge update for the game. And then they were like, yeah, and that's it. And everybody in the Animal Crossing community was like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean that's it? We want more, and I still want more, and like I'm almost kind of sad to play that game again now, because I don't know, like it just feels kind of dead to me now. Like, yeah, I could like demolish my island and redo it again, but I don't know, it just doesn't have the same sparkle now that they're, you know, they're not updating it all the time. Sparkle's a weird word to say, but you know what I mean. It just doesn't have the same draw as it did, you know, when it was first coming out and they were releasing all kinds of new updates for it. And I don't know, now it just doesn't feel like it's as alive, I guess. But comment if you're ever interested in me putting out Animal Crossing content. If you want to see like my island. Oh my goodness, I would love to share my island on my YouTube, even though my YouTube is kind of shaping out to be more of like a Sims-based channel. I would love to do Animal Crossing too, because that is a game that is so near and dear to me. I love it, even though, you know, I know New Horizons is like the first one that I've ever played, but, you know, still. I put a lot of hours into that game. I feel like I should get I should get some kind of cred, you know? But I'm a huge, outside of The Sims, I love to play actually like tons of different video games. I'm a big video game fan. And one of my favorite games to play is anything Zelda related. I'm a big Zelda fan. And I'm super excited about the new Zelda game coming out. I won't ramble about it too much like I just did with Animal Crossing. But if you are a Zelda fan and you're super excited about Tears of the Kingdom, please let's bond about it in the comments because I am so excited. And I don't know how I'm gonna play it because between putting out content for The Sims here on this channel and, you know, what I do for work and, you know, family and everything like that, I don't know how the heck I'm gonna get around to playing Tears of the Kingdom, but I guarantee you I will make it work because I am so excited about that new game. But anyway, not to ramble too much on about that. So now I'm doing Mr. and Mrs. Brady's master bedroom, and this is a huge master bedroom. It's too big. I made it again. I made this room too big. I do this in so many of my builds. I just make rooms too big. I don't know what my problem is. I wish I could just, you know, shake myself and be like, just stop making rooms this big. But I still made it work. I still think it looks really cute, and it's got a definite nod to the original bedroom that you see on the show, because Mike and Carol Brady, they had kind of like this powdery blue thing going on in their bedroom, and I definitely think I was able to accomplish that look here in this one, so I'm really happy with how this came out. But mainly it's just like, how do I fill this wall space? How do I fill this floor space? And you know what my answer always is? A platform. You just gotta put a platform down, that's it. Platforms solve everything. Justice for platforms. They do not get enough recognition. I'm sorry. They need more. They need more recognition. You know, people complain about them. No, you should not be complaining about platforms. They are a savior. Whenever I am like, shoot, how am I gonna fill up the space that I made way too big? A platform. Platform's always the perfect solution, so yeah. Anywho, getting back to what I'm doing. So now I'm doing the master closet here. So yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Brady have a really nice master closet. Mrs. Brady's got a cute little kind of old-fashioned vanity. And then they've got an ensuite, which I don't show me doing the ensuite in this video, but it's really cute. It's kind of got like a green kind of retro thing going on. It's got like that kind of retro style tub. You can kind of see it off to the side there. And I gave them like a really big walk-in shower. It's really nice. But now we're on to another one of my favorite rooms, and this is Mr. Brady's office, Mike Brady's office. And you know, he was an architect, so I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to use tons of the Dream Home Decorator stuff. So I got that desk there from Dream Home Decorator, and I put like, you know, fabric swatches and all that. And I know being an interior designer is very different from being an architect. Like, I know this, nobody in the comments needs to tell me this, but you know, some of the items from Dream Home Decorator look kind of architectural-ish. So I was really excited because I actually love that desk from Dream Home Decorator, but I've never really found a way to use it in any of my builds. So immediately when I was thinking about Mr. Brady's office, I was like, oh, I can use that desk from Dream Home Decorator, perfect. But yeah, I just tried to make it look very, you know, stylish, very sophisticated. Mike Brady's office on the original show, I remember it was kind of like this. It had a step down, and you could see through into the living room from it, and he had a desk near the window. So it's pretty close. It's pretty close to Mike Brady's actual office, and I'm happy with it. I'm feeling it. I'm happy with it. It came out so cute. I love that carpet from Dine Out, I want to say it's from. That carpet's fantastic. And I do use it in different parts of the house. I try to use carpet, of course, like I use shag carpet in the den from the Pastel Pop Kit. And then I use this kind of like striped-ish pattern from Dine Out. I use that here in Mike Brady's office, and then I also use it in the upstairs kind of hallway, which I love the way that that turned out. So, and then also I made the family. So just like I did with Full House, I made the family, and I think this Brady Bunch family turned out way better than my Full House family. So the Full House was like kind of like my first time recreating a person in cast. Like, I'm not a huge cast person. I do like to play around in cast though every now and then. I will say I dabble in cast, and I definitely am super happy with how the family turned out. They turned out so cool. Mike Brady was definitely a struggle, and you'll kind of see it when I do show a little bit of it at the end of my video here, but Mike Brady was a challenge. I actually had to download, I guess, like a sim off of the gallery that I had saved. So I had a sim like saved to my gallery, and I was just going through, because the presets for creating male sims, you know, like when you tap and create a sim and you like tap on faces, and you can like pick a face, which you can later kind of like customize to, you know, look like your own sim. I will tell you, all the presets in Create a Sim for male sims are so bad in my opinion. Like, I don't know, their faces are just not that proportionally like normal. Like, I don't know. When I was trying to work with all those preset faces, Mike Brady was just not working. He was not coming together. He was not working. So I was like, oh my goodness, I need to get a better preset, like a better canvas basically to work from. So I had a sim saved in my gallery, because I like to save like sims that people create in my gallery. And I had a whole bunch of male sims, and I just picked one that sort of had like a good base foundation for a Mike Brady. And then I worked off of that. And then I got him pretty good. Mike Brady was always, I thought he was always super handsome. So I was definitely happy with how he turned out. He's very handsome, he's very dapper, but he's got a little bit of that cheesy 60s, 70s thing going on, you know? He's got a slight little leisure suit vibe going on. Not in his main outfit, but in one of the outfits that I give him, he kind of has like a bit of a leisure suit thing going on. I love it. Marsha turned out really good. Greg turned out really good. They all turned out really good. I was super happy with how they came out, and I gave them like little personalities and dynamics that were similar to the show. So like everybody kind of like hates Jan because I don't know, from what I remember about Jan, she was just always like complaining about how she didn't like have like a personality. Like, she was always obviously in like Marsha's shadow. Like, the most famous line from the show was always, you know, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha.
Marsha, Marsha, Marsha.
Because Jan was just always so jealous of Marsha. So I kind of put that in the family too. So I made Jan jealous of Marsha, or not jealous, but I gave her like a difficult dynamic with Marsha. And then I made her personality kind of like opposite from the rest of the family. So poor Jan, I made her like really like the black sheep of the family here in The Sims. Because I don't know, that's just kind of what I remember from the TV show, and also from the movie, the Very Brady movie. And then I made Greg like, you know, really into music, because if you remember from the show, he was like trying to be like a super cool like rock star. Oh my god, it was so cringe. It was so cringe. My goodness. There's so many moments on the Brady Bunch where like I get like secondhand embarrassment, because it's just, oh god, it's just so cringy. Anybody who has watched the Brady Bunch, I feel like you should understand that, because it just is. There's like a little bit of a cringe factor to the Brady Bunch. Especially Alice, like Alice and her jokes, oh my goodness, she would make those like really cheesy like one-liner jokes. So bad, just so bad. And that's another thing about Alice, or another thing about Alice that stinks, is like I could not like formally add her to the family when I was making her in Create a Sim. I had to basically create Alice separately, move her into a house nearby, introduce her to the family, and then set up a stay over, because, you know, the max amount of Sims that you can have in a household without mods is 8. You can have 8 Sims. And, you know, with Alice, it would have been 9 Sims. So I had to get kind of creative with how I added Alice to my household. But she is in my gallery, so if you want to download the house and, you know, the family and Alice and everything, it's in my gallery. My gallery ID is just intelligentfly all together. Although the gallery's stupid, and sometimes when you search intelligentfly, it won't come up. But if you search Brady Bunch, you should be able to find my family at least, and then from there you should be able to click on my name, and then you should be able to find the house, and, you know, you can just look at my whole gallery. You can follow me if you really want. You can do all that. Nobody's telling you you have to, but you can. So, so yeah, that's how you can find that. But obviously, if you have a PC, you can just, you know, have a mod that allows you to have more than 8 Sims in your household. I'm so excited to get a computer. I really am just... I'm not gonna get one, I don't think, until like closer to like July, just because I want to save up for it. I don't want to get more in debt. I don't want to get more credit card debt and get a computer that way. So I'm trying to save up. I think I'm gonna build it myself. Actually, I know I'm gonna build it myself because I've been doing tons of research. And I've actually built PCs before. My dad, he is an engineer, and he worked for an IT firm for a really long time. He was a director of IT, so he knows the stuff when it comes to computers. And he used to kind of show me, you know, how to install, how to build a computer, what the components of a computer are, you know. So I do have some knowledge. I mean, I'm not going to say like I'm an expert, but I do have some knowledge when it comes to building computers. So I'm excited, and I was gonna buy a pre-built. I was settled on buying a pre-built for a long time. I was gonna get one from NZXT, but I don't know. Then I was like, I'm not that happy with the power supply that came with it and everything like that. So I'm just gonna build it myself and, you know, save some money and also get some better parts put into my computer. I'm gonna way overbuild it too. I'm gonna build it for like way more than what The Sims will need, because The Sims doesn't really need that good of graphics, really. I mean, from what I've read, it looks like The Sims is more dependent on your RAM, and I think kind of on your CPU as well, and it's really dependent on like how much memory you have on your computer. So I'm gonna build a computer with lots of memory, lots of RAM, and lots of, and a really good CPU. So I'm gonna get like, I think a 13 gen Intel CPU, so, and a good graphics card as well. So I'm gonna be able to play more than just The Sims on this computer. It's gonna be really good for me to edit on. It's gonna be really good for, you know, just everything else that I do on the computer besides The Sims and editing, because like I said, I like to play other video games. I like to do lots of different things on my computer for work and everything like that. So yeah, I'm really excited to have a PC at some point. Getting back to what I'm actually doing, I've been like on a huge tangent for a while there, I'm sorry about that. But I just got done doing the boys' room, and now I'm finishing up with the girls' room. So this is the last room that I'm doing. Or no, it's not the last room. I always lie. This is the second to last room. And, you know, I definitely do it sort of true to the show. It almost has this kind of wallpaper going through it, the one from Pastel Pop. It's got like a really kind of like light pink floral wallpaper going through it, and I made sure to have like the dresser with like all of Marsha's really obnoxious like trophies on it, because that's how she was. She just like was so perfect, and she always had, you know, all the awards. If I had to say like what am I, more of a Jan or a Marsha, I feel like I'm more of a Jan. Not that people hate me, but just that I don't know. I guess I'm just more real. I feel like Marsha was... I love Marsha, though. She's, well, I don't know if I'm gonna say I love Marsha, but, you know, I like Marsha. She's cool. I don't know. Jan was just, like, a little bit more cynical, and I feel like that's how I am. I'm, like, a touch more cynical. I'm not as, like, you know, just prim and perfect as Marcia, I guess. But now I'm doing the bathroom, and this is, I want to say, the only bathroom I actually show in this build. And I just kind of had to include it in this video because it's kind of an iconic bathroom. It's just that hideous blue bathroom, and I do it very close to on the show. So I actually didn't like try to update this bathroom. I want to keep it outdated, and I like to do that for kids' bathrooms when I build in this kind of style. I like the kids to have like a kind of outdated bathroom, which I think is kind of realistic, because when you're going through and like redoing a house, usually the last room the last bathroom you're really gonna worry about is like the kids' bathroom or like the basement bathroom, because, you know, most people don't usually see it. It's just, you know, it's for the kid, who cares? But yeah, so I tried to make this look kind of outdated. And I gotta say, I kind of like doing outdated spaces. I never thought I would like it, but I did it in the Full House home. I did it here. You know, I did some outdated spaces, like Alice's room that you see towards the beginning of this video. Her room is very outdated, and I kind of dig it. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool. It just feels kind of fun to like make it look more realistic, because, you know, these really perfect, like polished, perfectly designed houses are not that realistic. You know, the houses like normal people like us, or I'm not gonna say like us because maybe there's somebody super rich watching this, but, you know, normal houses for like middle class, even upper middle class, lower class, whatever class you are, they're not like super perfectly designed. You know, they have some flaws, they have some rooms that are not 100% up to date, or maybe there's some linoleum and like different parts of your house. Like my house, even, like, it's a newer house and I'm actually working on like slowly updating it. But oh my gosh, like there is a bathroom up on my second level that has linoleum tile, and I just die because I hate linoleum tile. I'm trying to switch out all the tile to my house to be this like really nice black hexagon tile, and I'm doing a lot of the tile work myself, so it's a process. But yeah, I hate linoleum. I'm not the biggest carpet fan unless it's nice carpet. And only in certain rooms, like bedrooms or maybe like a den or something. Anyway, getting to what I'm doing again. So I am working here on The Sims, or the Bradys, I should say. And this is Mike Brady. So I'm going through, I'm finding him a good Mike Brady hairdo. They did not have like a small little kind of like curly hairdo. But here's Marcia, and all the kids I did as like a combo between the Carol that I made and the Mike that I made. So when I made Marcia, I made her as like a genetic spin-off between those two, and, you know, all the other kids were just kind of like a genetic spin-off of all of them. And I think it turned out really good. So, but yeah, that is finally the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a comment. Let me know how I did, if you liked it, any feedback that you guys got from me. And, you know, if you really enjoyed this, please subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. I'm gonna have some really cool videos coming down the line that I have planned, and I'd love it if you could be a part of it. But I just hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you guys later. Bye now.